Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Gaines, Bellevue Baptist Church. Thank you to our family at Hope Presbyterian. Thank you, Memphis. The love, the support that you have shown us is so overwhelming and so gratifying. I also want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies, even on the federal side, that have sent officers here literally from all over the world. This past week, I've gotten emails, phone calls, messages from agencies that I really didn't even know existed. And I just want to take the time to tell you thank you. Thank you to our elected officials, our clergy, especially the graduates of my clergy academy. To our mayor, both mayors are present, I believe. Thank you to this Bolton family. Thank you for allowing Sean to be a part of our family. When this first happened, I can't even begin to tell you the devastation that I felt. And sometimes when you stand in these shoes or when you feel this position and things like this happen, you have to find a way to speak to God on your own terms. We all have our own relationship with God, and we all talk to God on our own terms. And in that process, I began to talk to God, and God, why me? I've been the director 4 years, and here we are the third time. Why me, God? What are you trying to tell me? Why me? And just as clearly as I'm talking to you, God said, son, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. It's not about you. I continue to say, well, God, no one knows how I feel. And again, I told you we all have our own relationship with God, and I could feel God hit me in the back of the head and say, didn't I tell you this wasn't about you? Even then, I still continued to have this pity party, talk about all the pain that I was in and the difficulties that I was going to have holding this police department together and the message that I was supposed to have for the citizens of this great city. And I heard God very clearly saying, didn't I tell you? And I cringed because I didn't want to feel that lick in the back of my head again. God said, didn't I tell you this was not about you? And I want to apologize to the Bolton family and all of the officers and everybody that's here today. I know that I was supposed to prepare a speech. And I actually sat down to do that numerous times. Even had people call and offered me assistance in doing that. But Sean deserves so much more from me than a speech. God told me not to deliver a speech here today, but a message. A message not only for this family and for the officers that are present here, but for any citizen that's listening as well. My name is Tony Armstrong. I am the police director. I have the awesome responsibility of your public safety. There are 2,000 officers under my command that I demand the best of each and every day. Most of them will tell you that they hate to see me coming. Most of them will tell you that I'm a pretty difficult guy to work for sometimes. I have to agree with them because I want the absolute best for our city. And sometimes in getting the absolute best, I have to push, and I have to push very hard. Sometimes excuses don't sit well with me. I want results. because our citizens deserve results. They deserve our absolute best. And in giving you our absolute best, let me say this and let me make this emphatically clear to our citizens. We are not your enemy. We are not the enemy. When most people run away, we run too. When most people hide, we're right there for you to see. Regardless of the circumstances, we are right there. We check behind that dark corner that most people will be afraid to do. We encounter shady character that most people would go a mile out of their way not to even encounter. But we do it because we love this city. Most of us get up on a daily basis knowing that this is the reality. On any given day, at any given time, this could possibly be the reality. But yet we leave our families at home and we come and we try to give you our absolute best. I know there's a mantra that says that Black lives matter. But let me tell you, I get that. I understand it. I'm an African-American man, and I truly understand that. But we can't say that Black lives matter only when they're taken at the hands of law enforcement, or only when it's at the hands of non-African-American people. Black lives matter, period. All lives matter. We don't get to choose. None of us. None of us have the right. God hasn't granted us the authority to take a life, needlessly take a life. And if we don't have that authority, we certainly don't have the authority to place priority over one life versus another. Sean was a Marine, served in Iraq. The soldiers in Iraq slept very well knowing that Sean was on guard duty. The citizens in this great city slept very well knowing that Sean was on patrol. On August the 1st, God arranged for Sean to patrol the neighborhood. God arranged that meeting. Babies were asleep. People were asleep in their beds. Sean was doing what I would love for and you demand that we do. Patrol your neighborhood. You demand that when we see something that just does not feel right to us, that our training, our experience tells us is not right, you demand that we investigate. And that's exactly what Sean did. Sean encountered an individual and it's basically said that that individual took his life, but that's not totally true. It was time for Sean to go home. God called Sean home. At the conclusion of our shifts, after we've done our time, our officers get on the radio, tell the dispatcher it's time for me to signal C. And basically what that is just telling the dispatcher, I've completed my shift. I've answered every call. I've done my absolute best on this day. My time is up. I've done my job. take me out of service. I'm no longer available for calls. It's time for me to go home. And Sean made it home. God embraced Sean. And I want to say to Sean now what we should have said to him a long time ago. Thank you. Thank you for your service to this country. And thank you for making the ultimate sacrifice to this city. When Sean made it home, God embraced him. God looked at him and said, Sean, all lives matter. Thank you.